Okay guys, so here I am doing my weekly meal prep. First thing I'm doing is bacon. I got that 5-pound um, bacon package for $20. I thought that was a pretty good deal. So I'm cooking up a bunch of it for the week. I cook it in my oven. I put it on a cookie sheet with some cooling racks on it, and I cook it in my oven. And then with what's left over, I'm splitting it up and putting it into quart-sized bags in my freezer for later use. I thought that was a really good deal. I got it at my very local grocery store, and they had a coupon for $5 off, and so it was a good deal. And I'm just putting that in packages to put in the freezer. And bacon was delicious. There you go. Now I've got some grapes. The grapes was the fruit I got this week, and I'm just taking them off the vine, putting them in my strainer so I can wash them up and put them in the refrigerator for the week. These were a little bit overripe, I will say. I wish they were I like them firm, so they snap when you eat them, but these weren't. They were a little overripe, but that's okay. I'll still eat them. Now I'm going to make a salad, my weekly salad. As you know, I like to have shredded carrot, and I have a head of iceberg lettuce. So, and then I kind of break the lettuce up with my hands and layer it in that white Tupperware dish right beside me. That's how I like salad for the week. And I put paper towels in the bottom, super important. Now this head of lettuce was so hard, you guys, I couldn't even break it. So I had to get my cutting board out and actually chop it, which is okay. It's delicious. It's nice and fresh. So I'm layering it with the carrots. And then I put paper towel on the top as well. Super important because iceberg lettuce gets very moist, very wet. Now I am going to make some pumpkin waffles. Excuse me. First I'm making chicken salad. As you remember from a couple videos ago, I cooked a bunch of chicken in my roasting pan, and I put a bunch of it in the freezer. This is some of that chicken. So I'm grinding up a bunch of it to make chicken salad, and I'm going to leave some of it in the fridge to eat with meals. But this chicken salad is so good. In it, I put salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and usually put in mandarin oranges. But I had grapes this week, so I cut up some grapes and put those in here with a little bit of mayo. And I also add in dried cranberries. Dried cranberries is great to use in this chicken salad recipe because no matter what you use for fruit, either grapes or mandarin oranges, they're quite moist. So if you put in the dried cranberries, they sop up that moisture in there and they get all plump and juicy, and so it's delicious. It's a great little combo. And I can tell you from the future, this came out really good. Just putting it in a smaller bowl to put in the fridge. Now I'm going to make the pumpkin waffles. Now I use squash and pumpkin interchangeably. This is my last package of squash that I had in my freezer from years past, and as you can see by the garden video before this, I have quite a bit of squash coming up in the future, so I thought I'd use that out of the freezer. And a couple videos ago I also did egg cups, breakfast egg cups. Well, I'm going low. I'm going to run out of those this week. I needed something else for my breakfast, so I thought I'd make this. Now these are gluten-free, and they are excellent. I found this recipe, I don't even remember where. Online, I think, but it's gluten-free, and they are fantastic. You'd never know by eating when they were gluten-free. They're crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. Now that is King Arthur gluten-free flour, which I love. And there was a small container before that I put some flour, and that was chickpea flour, which I don't really love, but I have it and I want to use it. So I substituted a half a cup of the King Arthur flour for the chickpea flour, and that's how I end up using up flour that I don't really care for. I don't want to waste it. So what I do is I cook them, I put them on the cookie sheet beside me to cool, and then I put them in a baggie in the freezer. And so my feet were getting sore. So I just checked the bacon, it's doing good. I like my bacon pretty crispy, so I let it go a little bit longer. Putting the grapes away, again I put those in a dish, paper towels on the bottom and on the top. Half a cup of waffle mix goes inside the waffle maker, and that makes the perfect size waffle. I didn't want to usually this batch makes about 8 I think I got 9 out of this batch here, but I didn't want to make you wait this whole time, so I just showed you 1. And here's my weekly meal prep. The waffles, the bacon, that's going to be my breakfast for the week. I can tell you from the future, all of this stuff is delicious. The chicken salad is wonderful. The grapes are great. And the salad, as usual, is wonderful. I just loved everything I made this week. Filled my fridge, and it's all homemade. Pretty soon I'll be switching from salad to soup. And this is how that's how I eat my waffles. I take a half, a little bit of maple syrup, a little bit of yogurt with the bacon, and that's the mess of the dishes I just created. And now I'm at the garden. So first thing I do is I spray my bug spray. Excuse me. This is a homemade, it's actually a flea and tick spray for dogs and cats, but I use it and it keeps all the bugs off. And so that's the first thing I do every time I go to the garden. Now I got to tell you guys, today I was going to pull up the peppers and the strawberries, but the peppers are doing great. I thought the deer would get to them after I took the fence down, but they didn't. So I'm just picking the cucumbers and tomatoes, and I'm leaving the peppers. I'm just going to leave them there until the deer discover them. The peppers are growing that are on there are growing great, so I'm just going to leave them. So for today, I'm just going to pull up the strawberries, and I'm also weeding around the outside of my beds, as you can see. Quite a bit of weeds gathered around there this year, so I really do need to get those weeded. There was a big clump of grass right there. I had a really hard time getting it out. You'll notice that I'm just throwing the weeds and the dead strawberry plants on the lawn. Well, I'm gonna take care of those in just a moment, but I'm just throwing them on the lawn for now. And I gotta tell you guys, these things were dead as a doornail. There wasn't one bit of growth on there. I don't know what happened and why they were like that, but they just did nothing. And that's one fail for this year. I wasted a whole entire garden bed on that. But that's okay. Live and learn. We have fails every year, right? So I'm just pulling those up, throwing them on the lawn. And I have little plastic identification tags for the strawberry plants that I'm going to take care of here in just a minute. But I leave those in. I like to identify them as I am, throughout the year if I forget what I purchased. These were ever bearers. And so I'm just doing the last of the weeding here, grabbing my identification tags. I'm going to throw those away. See, the edges really did need weeding. You can see I got quite a bit of weeds out of the edges. And there are the tags. And now I'm going to get into my garden shed, being super careful because it's kind of been taken over by weeds and wasps and hornets. Just moving my wheelbarrow out of the way, grabbing my mower. Now this is an electric mulching mower. I'm grabbing my battery to put in it now. And what I do is I just raise the mower up and I mow over all of the weeds and stuff that I took out of the garden. It mulches it up and just puts it into the lawn. Nicely. It works great. Now, when I have my house built and I finally am living here, what I will do is I will put the bagger on the back of the mower, gather all that stuff up in the bagger, and throw it in a compost pile. So when I'm living here, I will have a compost pile, but I just don't have one right now. But it works great. Now I'll go over it for a second time. I lower the mower a little bit and then go over it a second time, and boom, look at that. All taken care of. It works great. I'm putting the battery back in my car. Yeah, watch, I'm a little hesitant here with the hornets and wasps inside the shed. Ugh. I gotta get in there and get some tools. I'm just smoothing the bed over. Now next spring, I will definitely need to add some soil to the top. It's down quite a bit. That's okay. I usually buy bags and fill them to the top before I plant it again. I do that in the spring though. It's the best time for me to do that. Checking out the bees. They were kind of active at this point too.
All right, everybody, I'm just doing a quick video or a quick portion of the video on the tools I find invaluable when using raised bed gardens. So as you could see just recently, just in this last video clip, you saw me using the rake. So I like to use this rake here. I guess you would call it a dirt rake. I like to use that to smooth things out, and then to give it a final smooth, I use this one, this leaf rake. So those are wonderful for raised beds. Also, my wheelbarrow and my gloves, as you could see. Now, I didn't use the wheelbarrow today, but when I put dirt in my raised beds in the spring, I definitely do. Also, for my raised bed this year, you could see my peppers when I had them all enclosed in a fence. T-posts, that T-post, I don't know, you call it banger, T-post installer, I guess you'd call it, and chicken wire. Because that's what I can use to like fence in sections of my raised beds. Now eventually, as you know, I got a project ongoing with the landscaping fabric down on the bottom. Eventually I will have it all fenced in, but for now I am just using the T-post and the chicken wire. Those are the tools I find so helpful in my raised bed garden. Now I will say that in an actual in-ground garden, the tools I used were very different. You usually have to rototill, so you need a rototiller. But there's one tool I found invaluable. Let's see, I've been gardening for 11 years, and for the past 3, I've had raised beds. So all those years before that, I had an in the ground garden, and I found something called a stirrup hoe. That thing was so helpful. And what it does is, it cuts the weeds off right at the root. And so you use that to do your weeding, and it's so fast and efficient and easy. And I found that my in-the-ground garden had super duper weeds in it. So it's a lot of weeds to keep up with. So that stirrup hoe, man, if you have an in-the-ground garden, you should definitely get it. I'm going to try to put a picture of it up here on the screen. But so stirrup hoe, if you have an in-the-ground garden, the only thing I can say about that is once you go in and you rip those, you cut those, use the stirrup hoe and cut the weeds off, I would suggest going in and either bending down and gathering them up, or using a rake to go in and gather them up and get them out of the garden, because if you don't, they'll reroot. So those are my valuable tools for gardening.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm just going to end it with more gardening video. Beautiful pictures of my garden. I hope you enjoyed it. I just wanted to let you know that I have a Etsy store. I have lots of printables in there for all of the systems that I use in my house to keep it running smoothly. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps my channel, and I really appreciate it. Wishing you simple meals, a happy home, and many blessings. Take care.